Today we're going to be talking about the different types of multimeter probes you can get and why I really like the ones that I've been using in my videos so far. Then we're going to try two new ones that I found and thought were interesting on AliExpress, so I bought them, and we're going to compare them to the ones I like and see which ones sort of win, for lack of a better word. I'll have affiliate links in the description for all three of these probes if you guys are interested in any of them and want to support the channel. Now, the first and most obvious difference between all these probes is how sharp they are. If you're someone like me who does microsoldering or board level repair under the microscope, dull probes really piss me off. So if you get a cheap multimeter, you're gonna get probes like this, or if you're lucky, you'll maybe get probes that are like this. And I'll show you these right now under the microscope. So here are the really cheap ones that generally will come with any multimeter you buy new. And you maybe, if you get lucky, are gonna get ones that are a little bit sharper like this. Now these might look sharp enough to you, but even if I take these sharper ones and we go under the microscope on this motherboard here. Let's zoom into this USB-C PD controller chip, and you can see these dull probes really are just not going to do the trick. You can kind of make it work for 0402 components, but 0201s, especially if they're right next to each other, it's just not happening, right? And God help you probe any of these pads around this QFN package. So again, if you get lucky, you'll get ones that are slightly sharper like this with your multimeter. And even these for 0201 components here are really unwieldy. And if you're trying to measure individual pads on this QFN package, you're going to end up, shorting two together. And a lot of the times when you are taking measurements on a board, you are going to have power in the board. You're going to want to measure voltage rails and things. And sometimes those voltage rails are really not in an easy to access place. You can sometimes get some test points here if you're lucky that have the voltage rails, or a large, capacitor or something. But sometimes you really just have to probe pins of a chip. And when you have probes that are like this or like this, it can be really sketchy trying to take measurements without shorting things together, and you can break things if you short a higher voltage rail into a smaller one or into a really sensitive data line. So if you look for precision probes on Amazon or something, you're going to come across ones like these, which are significantly better than this, but not quite as good as these, which we'll take a look at in a moment. So I'll compare the sharper version of the cheap probes to the precision probes that you'll get on Amazon. So here we are under the scope, and you can see the tips themselves are actually pretty identical between the ones I was showing you before and these precision probes. However, they are significantly less wide or fat when you go further down the probe. And this can actually make a big difference in terms of visibility when you're probing really tiny components, as well as how much the probe is going to potentially short out to neighboring components. So these guys end up being, definitely better, but they are by no means a solution to our problem. So if we zoom into the same area here, you're gonna see why the wideness matters. So you can see I can maybe probe this pad of this QFN package a little bit easier with these, but if I were to try to use the wider probes, you can see even though it's just as sharp, I'm going to risk shorting this point to this neighboring resistor here. Or, if I'm trying to measure this side of this capacitor, it's easy to short out to neighboring components, but the one that is the same sharpness but a little bit less wide, you're going to have a little bit more luck with that kind of thing. So they're a little bit better, but still, again, not quite as sharp as I would like them to be. Then you've got these guys right here, and I really love these guys. I've been using them for about 2 years now. Any of you guys who watch my channel will see me using these in just about every video. And you can see these guys are really not expensive. Ignore this welcome deal here. These are actually about $8 or $9 US with free shipping here. So they're not expensive whatsoever, and they come with extra little screw-on probes. And take a look at just how sharp these probes are. So on the top are going to be the Amazon precision probes, and then on the bottom are the ones I got from AliExpress there. You can see just how much sharper they are. Not only is the point itself sharper, but they are significantly thinner overall and make it really easy to get up and around components or in between components to take measurements. I've even gone ahead and bent the other one slightly on purpose by just pressing it against a hard surface. And this makes it real nice and easy to get up and around components and really take measurements wherever I need to on any board. So you can see in this exact same area, I can be extremely precise and probe exactly the pad or pin that I need to. And I don't risk getting in the way of other components, even if they're really close to each other. And I can accurately probe just about anything I need to. Not to mention that sometimes you're going to have a slight layer of oxidation, or on some boards conformal coating, that you need to sort of stab through in order to take measurements. And God forbid you have a probe like this and you have to just scrape away and things at the component in order to try to get a good measurement, or press really hard into it and risk knocking the component off of the board. That's where these sharp probes really come in handy. You can actually just press a little bit harder than you normally would, and you're already through that little layer of oxidation and you get a really good reading. So just as a quick example of this, you can see we have this oxidized ground plane here, and you can see my multimeter where it says overload up there in blue. That's my multimeter on screen. So when I probe this, you'll see it's going to read, right now it's reading 1 ohm, which is really high because my other probe is just on the USB-C port down here. So we shouldn't be reading nearly that high of a resistance reading. But if I just scratch a little bit and press slightly, we get all the way down to 0.2 ohms or 200 milliohms. So it really doesn't take that much with these sharp probes to get a really nice reading. You can always just push a little bit harder than you normally would, and you'll get a much more accurate reading on your meter with these guys. Whereas with the ones that are more dull, you're gonna have a hard time pressing into especially those tinier components or pins without causing more damage than you would like to. And these guys come with replacement tips here. So if you bend them up too much or you prefer this shape over this shape, they're slightly different, then you can always swap them out. So you can see this one is the one that's on my probes currently. And here's the alternative one without the little cover there. And you can see the replacement probe on the right is actually slightly sharper than the one I have on here. However, it is a little bit wider, further towards the tip than these are. These are really thin all the way down, so that's why I think I went with these. But you can replace these by unscrewing these. I actually tighten them so much that I can't unscrew them by hand, which I recommend you do if you grab these. Use some small pliers or something to get them tightened, because otherwise they come loose a little bit easier than I would like them to. I just like to take the pliers and do like really small turn there, and then they won't come off. They're not going anywhere. But sharpness is not the only consideration. The other thing that matters is the resistance of the probes or the leads themselves. So the wires on the probes and also actually the terminals and the traces going to the chip taking the measurements all have some level of resistance, even if it's very, very low. And while we can't change that really about the meter, unless we buy another multimeter, you can change the types of probes you use. So let's try first with these Amazon precision probes, and we're gonna plug them into the meter here. And I've taken it off screen so you can see it just in person here. We're gonna make sure the speed is set to low here so that we get a more accurate and more stable measurement. So I'm gonna press these together and we're gonna see exactly how much resistance these leads have. So you can see this is reading 0.37 ohms, which is really high for multimeter leads actually. This is 370 milliohms, and this is multiple times higher than, for example, if you're measuring the resistance of a V-core rail, which we'll try here in a second, or any voltage rail supplying power to a low impedance chip like a CPU, a GPU, an SoC. So good luck with these probes trying to figure out if that rail reads good. So I've got the nicer ones plugged in here, and we're gonna hold these guys together and look how much lower this is gonna read. 0.09 ohms. So this is significantly better. It's more than 3 times lower resistance than these other probes here. So we're getting 9 milliohms or 10 milliohms of resistance, which is really, really solid. And the nice thing about this multimeter is you can actually use this rel button here. So if you get the smallest resistance you can here and then just press the rel button, it's going to subtract that from the equation. So now it's a true 0, and you can now measure those really low impedance rails with a little bit more precision. You can also get multimeters that have the capability for 4-wire measurements. I don't have one on me right now to show you. You can get special multimeters that are really, really accurate that take 4-wire measurements. And the whole point of the 4-wire measurement is to effectively remove the resistance of the leads from your measurement entirely. On cheaper and less specialized meters like this, you will sometimes just get this rel function, which is effectively just doing the math and subtracting, what you've measured here on your leads. So a good example of this is I have a PS5 board here, and we're going to take a reading of the voltage rail going directly into this SoC here. So I'm going to put my black probe on ground, and I'm going to put my red probe on this inductor here. And you can see in this case, we're getting a 0.3 ohm reading on this particular rail. Now let's swap over to our other probes here. So I've got the other probes plugged in here, and we're gonna take the exact same reading and see what we get. All right, you can see we're seeing almost double the reading that we were seeing before, which was the correct reading. Obviously, we can do the rel on these probes as well. We can get rid of the 0.34 ohm resistance, and then we can measure again, and we'll probably get closer to the correct reading, but it's always better to have and start with probes that are lower resistance. You can see here it's off a little bit compared to the other probes. We're getting a 0.2 ohm resistance, but I don't think either of these are extremely accurate, but I can tell you this is going to be a bit more accurate than this. The correct way to measure the true resistance of that particular rail would be to get a meter that is designed for extremely low resistance readings like that. But meters like that are very expensive, and if you don't really need exact readings and you just need something close for comparison purposes, this sort of thing is going to do the trick, at least for me. So we talked about sharpness, the resistance of the leads themselves, but the last thing is these are really comfortable and nice to use for a couple reasons. Number one, they have these nice little foam grips here, which I find extremely comfortable if I'm taking lots and lots of measurements. You can pull these off if you want to, and they have a nice silicone grip underneath, but I do really like these foam grips personally. The other nice thing about these compared to ones like this is you can see the wire itself is a lot more flexible than this like rigid wire here. These cheaper leads come with like these horrible wires that actually end up cracking over time sometimes and are extremely rigid and non-flexible, whereas these are nice and flexible and make it easier for you to navigate the cable around your bench. So that leads us to testing these leads right here, no pun intended, but we actually have two different kinds of leads here. They look the same on the packaging, but you can see these probes are actually, I think, interchangeable. I think it's a different system than the screw-on ones here. And then we have these here, which I don't think are replaceable, but I think they are just as sharp. So let's just open these and see sort of how each of these look. These are going to be first impressions for me. I haven't tried these out yet. I just got them in the other day. So these are the ones that have replaceable tips. It doesn't look like they come with any extra tips. And you can see here it says it is a spring probe. So it's actually not a normal probe. It's a probe that has a little spring inside of it, I guess. So we'll have to see how that works. And then we have some wire specifications here, and I can already tell after taking these out, they are way nicer cables than even these that I've tried here. They're like just a little bit more soft and flexible, more like silicone than this stuff here. Yeah, that's really nice. They're really, really flexible cables. I don't know how I feel about the handles themselves. They're like plastic versus these, which are a little bit more rubberized. These are like hard plastic, so they don't really feel as nice in the hand at all. But whoa, those are super interesting. So let's compare these under the scope. So you can see the best ones here are actually sharper than the XZZ ones there, and these are spring loaded. So if I press on this little plastic box here, you can see they actually retract quite a bit. Oh, all the way in. They go all the way in. That's kind of crazy. So I guess that could be good for trying to pierce through oxidation without putting too much pressure on the components. Let me give that a shot. So let's say we were taking a measurement of this O201 resistor here and we wanted to sort of push through a layer of oxidation. Let me push. That's kind of nice actually, because that gives you a nice amount of pressure without, it being too much pressure. But I don't know, like I feel like sometimes there may be situations where you want to press a little bit harder, and with these you won't really be able to do that. But I don't know, I kind of see the appeal for something like this, but I'm curious to see how these do in terms of resistance, because there's so much of a space, I feel like, between the tip and the actual probe if you've got that big spring in there. So I've got these plugged in here, and we're going to put these together and see what kind of resistance we get. Wow, 0.08. So it's even better than the XZZ ones, and this is with rel off, 0.07. That's pretty impressive for probes that have that little springy thing in there. I have to say these are really nice and sharp probes. I'm wondering if this is going to stay the same if we push in the spring. Let me see if I could take a measurement while pushing the springs in here. And it does impact it by like 0.03 ohms. You can see there the springs are fully retracted, or as retracted as I can get them to be. And it makes a little bit of a difference, but still, even when they're pushed in like that, they are a better resistance, I think, or equal to the XZZ ones. So you can see if I take these out now and press them together again, we're going to get, I think, yeah, slightly lower resistance there. So this is the lowest resistance I've seen on probes so far. So these guys are only about $15, 15 US dollars with free shipping. So let's see how these guys compare to the other ones. Oh, okay, so these do also have a replaceable tip. It's just a bit of a different system, it looks like. So similar thing here where the cable itself feels very, very soft, but they are sort of more plasticky, which I wish they were just a little bit nicer. But maybe I can pull these off of here and put them on these guys or on these, and I'll like them a little bit better. But yeah, let's see how these look. Cool, and these look very similar actually to the XZZ ones. So on the bottom there, we have the best ones, and on the top are the XZZ, and you can see they're very, very similar. So I think for sharpness, these spring-loaded ones actually end up winning in terms of how sharp they are. Let's check the resistance of these guys on the meter here. We've got rel off, and let's see what we get. Okay, so we get 0.06 ohms, which is slightly lower than these spring-loaded ones here. I'm not too surprised because the spring-loaded ones, again, are gonna, I think, have a bit more contact resistance than these. I can't really see how you end up pulling these probes out. It says that the tips are replaceable. It looks like they may pull out of the thing here. I don't know if there's a slot. I'm having trouble getting them out if they do come out. So if I wiggle back and forth, we can finally pull these out. There we go. So you can see these are sort of the best of both worlds, where they're really tight tolerance, so the resistance ends up being, you know, much lower, but they're still replaceable, which is cool. I'm really impressed with the softness of the cable and also the really, really low resistance reading of the cables themselves. These are some of the most impressive leads in terms of like low resistance that I've seen for only like what, 15 bucks. So actually these are 1730 US dollars. You have to get the BST 050 if you're going with the listing that I'll link in the description. These are different ones. I think these end up winning for like price to performance, and I really like these sort of squishy grips that they have on them. They're still very, very sharp and very low resistance compared to, you know, your normal probes over here. These spring-loaded ones, the BST 951 JP, win for how sharp they are. They're the sharpest. Not sure I'm gonna like the springy sort of feature on these, but who knows, maybe. And then these definitely win for the lowest resistance, and again, really, really soft cables on both of these leads. Best also sells these really nice, similarly soft silicone banana jack cables, but they also have little slots on the top of them there that you can plug, you know, other things into like that. So I'll have a link to these if you're interested in these. But yeah, overall, pretty impressed with the best leads for sure. They're really, really low resistance. The only thing I wish they had was a little bit better grips. I don't know, I'm just not really a fan of this plasticky feeling grip, but everything else really works a lot better than I expected it to be honest. I've gone ahead and removed the green grip from one of these probes here, and it does fit on here pretty nicely. I found these little replacement foam grips for the JBC irons, which I'm sure would work wonderfully for the multimeter probes to have something similar to this. I think I'm gonna pick some of these up to have some replacements because mine are getting a little bit dirty. But while I was messing around with this, I noticed that this comes off, which I'm not too sure what the point of that is. Maybe this is some sort of like system they've designed. I can't do that with these here, with the spring-loaded ones, but these guys for some reason come apart in a few different pieces. And oh, it's like a locking thing. So it goes in and then locks, and then it can't come out. So that's kind of interesting. Not too sure what the point of that is. Maybe they have other products that these wires can sort of clip into to make it easier to swap leads or something. Not too sure, but anyways, pretty interesting. I think I'm gonna give these guys a shot with the grips to see how I like them. But yeah, I hope this was a helpful video for those of you who are looking for some better multimeter probes. Otherwise, I appreciate you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.